Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Please give us that 5-star review, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And of course, follow us on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast. And as always, email us, BJ and Bill, the podcast @gmail.com, as we welcome you to episode number 121. I was just going to say there would have been a 122, but we actually took our first week off in like 2 years of doing this.
Took Christmas week off because it would have been literally like, well, it wouldn't have been Christmas Day, but it would have been like Christmas Eve or something. It would have been Christmas Day when the show came out. Anyway,
Day.
And now as we record this one, even more weird because we always record on a Monday and release on a Wednesday, and Wednesday will be New Year's. So Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year
Let
to
me be
you.
the first to wish you a Happy New Year 2 days in advance. So yeah, weird.
And we had a special time for Christmas too, because we went down to Fort Myers and hung out with the son, and the daughter and her Cleveland boyfriend came down. So I had the whole family together. And as I get older,
Yes,
and getting my two kids together at the same time and knowing how special that is.
Yes.
I would have done things differently in my years and my dad was still alive.
What do you mean?
I would have spent more time with him. I would have hung out with him, because now as a father and as being an old fart, those times are precious. And they mean so much more than when you're hanging out with your kid like in his 20s or 30s. I don't know how to explain it, but the moments that I spend with my kids, like in the last year,
Right,
mean so much more to me than they did, in years past. It was like, okay, we're having Christmas. I'm getting together with my children, but now it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me and I'm getting sentimental in my old age, but there's just something even more special about it as you age, because you think, well, this could be the last one.
right. Every day is a gift, as they say. Every day is a gift, especially, for everybody. But yes, especially when you're older. You kind of recognize that a little more than most. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So not to be negative about it. I mean, no, that's good. I mean, good for you. That's good that you have for starters, you have the ability to get together with your kids still and all of that and enjoy them and all of that. I mean, that's awesome. I'm just trying to remember, like, my family, when my family was around, that was in the later years. That was a rare thing because my brother was in Phoenix and I was in Fort Myers and my parents were in Cleveland. And it's like, okay, we're not really getting together all that much anymore. Not everybody all at the same time, same place. So yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Good for you.
Well, it had been a year since, I got together with both of my kids at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it just meant so much more to me this year. And I'm thinking, my dad, there was times, that I could have spent more time with him, but, I was doing other things and I was busy doing this and that.
Right.
And now I'm saying, I should have taken the time to enjoy more special moments, because now at my age, I understand how special those moments are. But when I was running around doing my thing and, being a younger adult,
right.
I didn't think that way. So let me just tell anybody that's like in their 30s and 40s, special times.
Why am I hearing a Harry Chapin song in the background? Literally.
Cats
I mean, you
Cradle.
are literally describing Harry Chapin and what was the name of the song?
Cats in the Cradle.
Cats in the Cradle, and it's Silver Spoon, Little Boy and a Man on the Moon. When you coming home, son? I don't know when. We'll get together then, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that. What a sad song. Beautiful song. We miss you, Harry. Um, and yeah, that. I mean, it really is that powerful, to use
Yeah.
a strong word, but yeah, it really is. So yes, cherish the times and see if you can't make some time for each other, whether you're the son or the daughter or the dad or the mom or the whatever. Just figure it out. It's worth it, I guess is what we're saying.
And I think what's really cool too, my son, now that he plays the guitar, he's learning how to play the guitar. And
Right?
dad was always in bands when he was, a baby. And I
Right?
remember, his mother would come to the band practices and sit there and, I would say, I hope you're getting all this, son, or, I hope you're, but he never really picked up the guitar till like the last year or so. And so now whenever I do go up there, because he's got drums and guitars and everything else in the
Right.
studio.
Right in the
So
studio there,
his,
yeah.
he has to jam out with dad every time I go up there now, which I think are special moments also.
Well, that's cool. That's cool that you get to play together. I love that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So we jam out, and like we were leaving, the day we were leaving, he said, "We haven't jammed out yet, Dad. We've got to jam out." And I was thinking, "Yep, you're right. We got to jam out." So we went out there and played for about 15 or 20 minutes, which was cool.
That's awesome. That's very cool. Well, that's interesting. Yes, that he thought of that. So good for him that he thought to make that connection with dad there as things go. So, boy, if ever there was a show, and see, we're not even on New Year's yet as we record this, but the show's coming on New Year's. What a great thing to think about. I mean, I don't know if you want to make it a New Year's resolution thing or not, but again, to stay connected with the people that matter to you as
Yes,
that. I mean, I'm not
that's
going to,
good.
I'm not going to go crazy with it, but I'm just going to say, make time. It's worth it to stay connected to people who matter to you. That's great. Good for you.
So I really had a good time. What did you do? Anything special for Christmas?
Um, my local seniors group here, my little pickleball friends. I mean, they do other things, but I just play pickleball with them. Had a dinner, had a lovely dinner. One of the ladies, and it was a very mixed crowd. I mean, it was some of our senior group from the pickleball club, and it was some of her neighbors right in the area where she lives, and some of her daughter was there with grandkids. So it was a real mixed crowd. We probably had 20 people for dinner, with a kids table and an adult table and, bottles of wine and everything. So I spent quite a bit of time, learning the ins and outs of Lego dinosaurs. So I was chatting with one of the grandsons. I think he's 8 or 9, and the Legos are it now. He already had a Lego shark, who knew? And now he had just gotten for Christmas a Lego dinosaur set, and he was already making progress on putting it together and explaining it to me in great detail, which I was happy to share with him. So it was fun. So I had a
Awesome.
good time. I mean, I didn't, it wasn't family or anything like that. Well, I don't have any family a lot. Don't have a lot of family left, but that's okay. And so again, just being connected and having fun and a little bit of community. Yes, all good, all good.
So would this be called a dinner party?
Yes, sure. It's a dinner party, sure.
Because I've had family dinner parties, but I've never really been to a. And we have friends in the neighborhood, and we have friends,
Mm-hmm.
down at Fort Myers, which
Mm-hmm.
really live up here now. And we would get together like once a week and either go out to dinner or, we'd go over
Right.
to their house. So that was kind of like, like a dinner.
Sure.
But I think this is the first time I've actually been to that wasn't family or friends,
Okay.
a dinner party coming up tonight.
So, you're going tonight. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, is it like what, the neighborhood, or
It,
who's doing it?
it's one of the ladies that, I
Right.
have met in the neighborhood. My wife has met her also. And she knows that I do the transplant podcast.
Oh, okay.
And she already, like maybe a couple months ago, she said, "Oh, I have this friend who had a transplant. You really should have her on your podcast." I said, "Okay, that'd be great." Well, now there's another friend who's had an organ transplant recently.
Uh-huh.
And she says, here's another great person that you could have maybe on your transplant, podcast. I go,
Cool.
all right. She goes, well, why don't I have a little dinner get together with you and your wife and this person and their husband and y'all can talk and. So we're invited to our first dinner party, I guess I would call it this evening.
I'm sure you've been to other dinner parties in your time, but it might have been a while. So I get
Yeah,
it. I get it.
well, I don't, I've been to parties and, maybe
Right.
we've had snack, but this sounds like, it's a,
The real thing.
because she's having like chicken parmesan and
Oh, okay.
we're bringing shrimp cocktail and
Very nice.
the other lady's bringing dessert. So
Very nice.
I don't know. I feel like this is maybe being an old country boy. This might be my first
Dinner party.
more classy dinner party that I'm used to. So
Oh.
I hope I don't
Oh.
blow it by being the country boy that I am. Hey, look here. We brought us some shrimp cocktail. Who you wants to enjoy some?
That's fine. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be great. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, cool for you. Good for you. So you'll get to meet some more folk and all of that. And I mean, that's what I did. I trying to remember because I've been to this lady's house where I did my little party. She's had other ones. I was down in Sarasota for Thanksgiving, down in Venice, and all of that. But last year, I think she did some stuff too, and yeah, I guess that's her style. She's got a nice big old house with plenty of room for that sort of thing. So there you go. It's all good. Yeah.
Well, the lady that's invited us this time has had other little, I guess dinner
Right,
parties or
right, right.
parties where, they've made dinner and potluck. And she's invited us one other time too, but we were going to be out of town, so we weren't available. But this one is
Hmm.
like a dinner party for, I guess, a couple transplant people to get to know one another.
Okay, it's a transplant dinner party. Okay. Well, we always used to use that word. It's interesting when you said that. It made me think about people moving because we always used to say that, especially in Fort Myers, because when we were there, it was like people moving in from all over the country. You're a transplant. I'm a transplant from Ohio. You're a transplant from Indiana, kind of a thing. So I get it. But no, you're doing it in the strict sense of the word. So that's good for you. That's cool.
Yeah, my poor daughter is the only one in the family that can, go to one of those parties and they go, "Where are you from?" I'm from here.
Yeah, she
Wait,
can
wait,
actually.
what?
Yeah, yeah. She born in Fort Myers or born somewhere. Yeah,
Fort Myers, yeah.
there you go.
Lee Memorial.
Lee, Lee Memorial.
The old hospital right there on Highway 41.
41. I was there when we lived there when back in the day, back in the BJ and Bill days. I was there once a month because that's our computer club. When there was such a thing as a computer club, it was kind of a hobbyist thing back then. We used to meet in the auditorium of Lee Memorial. One of our board members was also on the board or he was kind of a big shot at Lee Memorial. So we got to use their really big auditorium and we filled it. I mean, this was back in the day when computer clubs were like hobbyist, like ham radio people and that sort of a thing, because it was new and it was techie and not many people understood it. And we used to get 200 people for a monthly computer club meeting.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was on the board, so me and three other guys would stand in front and run these meetings I did that for years, 10 years probably. I don't know if it was that long, but a long, long time. We did that. It was great fun. It was great fun. So anyway, little Lee Memorial memories there. There you go. Good for you.
Yeah, usually, like when I was usually sick, because it was kind of like the heart hospital,
Yeah.
I would usually go out to Health Park. But Lee Memorial, that was the baby in hospital.
Right.
That's
Right.
where they always sent you if you were going to have a baby.
Well,
I don't
Health
know
Park
what.
was Health Park was the new one. I remember you and I did many a broadcast from Health Park out there. Yes.
Yeah, I remember when they
For the
first
Children's
built.
Hospital and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, when they first built that, you'd go in going, "Oh my God, this is like a luxury hotel."
I remember a buddy of mine, shout out to, I forgot his name. Oh, it's been too many years. Oh, damn. All right. It'll come to me. Dwayne, shout out to Dwayne. I'm sure he's no longer listening. But he had an office that was nearby out there. He had his own little, I don't know, he worked for an insurance company or something. But we would actually go to lunch at Health Park because they had a little restaurant, a little
Oh,
cafe downstairs, and
they're like a little
they had this
food court.
yes, they had a food court, and it was like you said, it was like a resort hotel. It was you'd walk in, and it was this big open atrium. Like, oh my god, and they had a piano, and sometimes somebody was playing the piano in the atrium of the. It was gorgeous. It was like, wow, this is like a big city.
I know whenever I'd go to the hospital, oh my God, this is like big time, man.
Right, right. So anyway, hats off to Lee Memorial, still making it happen in Lee County. Boy, wow, what a business.
Ah, could have been
Mhm.
someone. That would have been nice to be a doctor there. But yeah, that food court was because, like you, there were times that we'd be going in that direction. We go, hey, let's just stop off at the food. That's how good the food was. People would just
Right,
go there to have lunch.
right, right. That's crazy. Well, I mean, not crazy. It's just good for them.
Or if someone was in the hospital that you knew
Right.
and you were going to, because, maybe they still do. I think they do, but, people don't visit hospitals as much. Usually just visit if it's family.
Right.
But like we'd go to visit somebody and we go, hey, let's go. Let's leave a little early and we can stop and go to the food court and get lunch. Or when you were leaving, hey, let's go to the food court and let's grab something to eat before we go home.
All these fun food places. I always think of that. Totally unrelated, but kind of on the food on the go for food thing. I always think about that when I'm driving through like downtown Tampa. I'm like, oh, IKEA is right there. I could use some Swedish meatballs.
And see, that's something I never got. Of course, I got into IKEA late. And then, of course, I'm not a great builder. So I'm like, I'm
Oh,
not going to buy some furniture that I have to put together and then it falls
oh,
apart,
okay.
when I try to set a cup of coffee on it.
Right.
So I'm not a big IKEA guy, but I think one time we may have had like a sandwich there or something. But yeah, you're a big time. You like to go there to eat.
Oh yeah, eat and I'm okay with my first apartment in Clearwater before BJ and Bill days when I lived in Clearwater for a couple of years. My entire apartment was except for the couch in the living room, which I bought at a Salvation Army store. Everything in that apartment was IKEA. I mean, literally everything. When I moved into it, I had a trailer that I moved down from Ohio, and I had rented a trailer, and I still had it for a couple of days. So I drove over to Tampa from Clearwater to the IKEA, stocked that sucker up, with a bed frame and a bed and a mattress and a dresser and a coffee table and library book, a bookshelf, and I spent a couple of solid good days putting all of that stuff together on the living room floor. So yeah, me and IKEA, we have a long history together.
Yeah, nothing would be safe that I made from
No,
IKEA.
I can imagine not. No,
Then
that's not really.
I had another problem where I don't know. I'm going to call after we do our podcast today because, I've talked in the past that our neighborhood is thinking about either getting cable or cyber cable or whatever it is.
I thought that was a done deal. I thought you had
Well,
texted me over the weekend.
yeah, they finally approved on Spectrum
Okay.
for our cable and for our internet. Well, I already had internet
Right.
through Spectrum and I have the Spectrum telephone service as far
Right.
as my cell phones. So I said, you know what? It's time. I might as well just switch over now because they sent out a letter that if you are on Spectrum, you'll just, stop getting your bills. You don't have to do anything. It'll all happen naturally. So I figured,
Naturally. Nothing ever happens naturally with a cable company, but
I
I hear
know.
you. Go ahead.
So I said, you know what? I might as well jump on the bandwagon now.
Okay.
So I call them up and there's this little box. It's called an X. I don't know what it's called. It's like, it's like, like Roku or, a Fire Stick, something like that.
Right, right, right.
But I guess, I don't know, maybe it's a specific brand
For your
for,
TV.
cable TV companies.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, I want to do it, and I go, I don't need any boxes or anything. Just send me, whatever I need so I can plug it into my TV and I get it through the internet.
Yep.
And they go, okay, we will mail that out. Well, it was supposed to arrive the next day at noon, but it didn't.
Of course not.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, because I canceled the other one, which ended on Sunday, which means how am I going to watch the Bucs game? But I do have, what is it? Not Peacock, but the other one, Paramount.
Oh yeah, Paramount Network. Yep.
So I said, oh, I can watch it on Paramount, so I'm good. But like an hour before the game, it arrived.
Oh, an hour. Wow.
And I go, you know what? This should be simple to just.
Oh, should be simple. Yes.
I got it in before game time, but it was a close one.
Okay. Good
Because
for
you got to
you.
do a lot of setup for those things. Do you want this? You want that? You got to do this. You got to do that. And I'm like, I'm watching the clock going, because to plug it in, I took out my fire stick.
Oh, Mickey. Oh, Bucks game. Oh.
So I pulled out my fire stick before the Bucs game, and started to put this new thing in, thinking, this take 10, 15 minutes. About 45 minutes later, I finally got television. And just as I was turning it on, welcome, but it was
Nice.
It was tight.
Just in time.
But let me ask you this, Mr. Computer Boy.
Yes.
So they did tell me that I would get faster internet that came with this package.
Okay.
And it's the same package we're getting when, the HOA starts paying for it. Well, we pay the HOA and the HOA
right.
gives us the cable. But they sent me a new modem and a new what's the thing, the Wi-Fi, whatever you call
router?
That. Router, yeah. And
usually that's all in one chunk of hardware nowadays. You got two different boxes?
Yeah, because one's like a little, I don't know, it looks like a little tower and it's got a little blue light on it. And that's what.
Yeah, I mean, I have one just like that, and mine does both. Mine is the router and the Wi-Fi. Mine is the router and the Wi-Fi transmitter all in one box. But maybe they do it with two. I've seen that.
They do it with two. But it looks like the exact same router and everything I have. And I'm going, is this because of quicker speed? I'm going to call him later.
Well, it's all about, it's all about the speed of the signal coming through the cable to get to that router. So next time you're online, don't do it now. Next time you're online, www.speedtest.com. Actually, even if you just go to Google and you type speed test into Google, it will run a speed test on your internet signal, and it will tell you exactly how fast. Now, of course, you don't know how fast it was before, but I could do that right now, and it would tell me a number, and I would go, oh, okay, cool. So, I mean, it's not.
Well, I'm going to call him and say, do I need to hook up this new box and this?
Right.
Because I think I could probably do it, but that's going to be like, if the first thing took me 45 minutes, this thing's probably going to take me a couple of hours. Make sure all the wires are run right and everything else.
Oh, okay. So you have your TV connected, but your TV's online. And like you said, you're getting the TV through the internet, or is it cable? Is it real live hardwire?
Through the internet.
Oh. Yeah, me too. With my YouTube TV, obviously. So you already have Wi-Fi. Why are you hooking up another gizmo?
I don't know. That's what I said. I wonder if that's because they said, oh, with this new package, you're going to get, more speed.
Right.
Do I need a different modem to get more speed?
No. I mean, again, it all depends on, they turn that speed dial up or down at the cable company and go, oh, BJ is paying for a high speed. He gets this. Bill is paying for not so high speed. He doesn't get that much. He get, whatever. I mean, I'm actually paying more than enough, but that's another story. But yeah, it's not a matter of the hardware at your end. It's a matter of how fast those electrons are flowing to your house.
Well, like I said, when I get done with the podcast, I'm going to call them and say, hey, you sent me a new box, you sent me a new router, and I have a perfectly good one that's working. Do I need to unhook everything and hook this new stuff up?
Yeah.
Or can I just bring it back to you?
They might just tell you not to bother. Yeah, I know. But we'll see.
Okay.
Like I said, mine all came in one box, and that's been my experience for years now. I mean, I have friends that still do, like down in Venice and Sarasota. Some of my clients will still have a little box that's the modem where the signal comes in, and then it sends the signal over to the little router that has Wi-Fi ears on it or something, antenna in it. So, but yeah, it's whatever. Everybody's got their own thing. So
yeah, because I that's what I kind of thought. But like I said, well, why did they send me the new one? It's not like I'm a new customer. I already have Well, maybe they thought I didn't already have internet. I don't know.
Right. And sometimes, they got a system, right? They got a system. We got a new customer, we send them new stuff. It's just
Yeah.
what we do. It's just, but again, call them and find out. And
Yeah, because I
good
don't want to
luck
hook all
trying
that
to.
stuff up because knowing me again, I'm the IKEA guy that you can't even put a cup of coffee on my, my little table I just put together and go boom, boom, boom down to the ground. So my internet is working fine at the moment.
Right. If it
Oh,
ain't broke, don't
don't
fix it.
fix it.
Right. I love that. That's a great idea. And I think that's good advice for just about anybody anywhere. So, yeah, good thinking. So, there you go.
I'm a little tired this morning because I stayed up past my bedtime, and I'll tell people why coming up. What, we take a little break here, maybe, and
Yes, I
get your
think so
coffee.
because we have plenty to talk about in the sporting world. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's do that. Yep, BJ and Bill both stayed up late. And in fact, I'm going to go refill my coffee cup. And I would recommend anybody else do that too. So let's take a quick break and we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. Thank you for joining us. And as always, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, heck, even just a little, we would ask you for the 5-star review wherever you collect your podcasts onto your phone, your iPad, your computer, wherever you go to get those podcasts. Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, does not matter. Feel free to leave that 5-star review. Just look up BJ and Bill, the podcast. And of course, you can always find us on our Facebook page. Just do the search for BJ and Bill, the podcast as well. Or you can email the show, BJ and Bill podcast@gmail.com. There you go. All good. So we were just talking, and he's still wearing his creamsicle Buccaneers baseball hat this morning. So life is good for Buccaneers fans today.
And I didn't mention yet on the podcast that for Christmas, my son got me a creamsicle, not the creamsicle you eat and enjoy.
No.
But a Baker Mayfield jersey.
A creamsicle jersey. Yeah, well, for those who don't know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they just came into the NFL, had these, I'm not going to say they were awful. They were interesting kind of orange-white kind of things, and everybody now calls it a creamsicle because it kind of looks that way, the orange-white combo. And now when there's those throwback uniforms, when it's, when it's throwback time for NFL games, that's what you see the Buccaneers in. And it's kind of trippy. It's kind of weird, but fun. It's all good. It's all good. I noticed the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday were wearing the bright green colors that they had long time ago as well. They're kind of more now the dark, strong, dark green, but they had the basic, it looked like just green, and the helmets were just the basic green paint with the eagle wings on the front of them. So anyway, BJ in his Baker Mayfield, he texts me during the game yesterday that both he and his wife are wearing their creamsicle Buccaneers jerseys.
Oh, no. She has my old red one.
Oh, I thought she had her own.
No, she I said, when I put on my creamsicle one, she goes, well, I'm going to wear your red one.
Oh, well, whatever it was.
Great combination.
You darn well have to do the same thing again this coming weekend to keep the magic going there for sure. Yeah.
Now,
I think
what was funny, the game was over. She took hers off as we were going to bed. Right. I picked it up and hung it in the closet. And she goes, what are you doing? I wore that. I go, no, dear. You're going to wear it again next week.
You don't understand. You just don't understand.
No, we're not. No, we're not going to wash your jersey. We're going to hang it right here in the closet. And then when next Sunday rolls around, I'm going to put on my creamsicle one, and you're going to take my old red one I had, and you're going to put it on, and we're going to sit and watch the game like we did this week.
I'm so sorry for all the spouses in the world now that have to put up with all the sports, all of the rituals and all of the we do this for good luck, and we were wearing this, so we're going to wear it again. We were eating this, and so we're going to eat it again. And we were sitting here on this couch in this way, so we're going to do that. So, yeah, I'm really sorry for your wife. She's just now had a crash course in sports rituals and good luck charms. So good for her. Well, good. I'm glad. Whatever you did, you're doing it again, because we didn't even, it's the second half of the show. We're just getting to talk a little football here. Buccaneers had a great game on Sunday. Absolutely just well, I mean, they were playing Carolina, so come on. I mean,
But wait.
But wait, there's more.
I think this little quarterback they have, this youngin, Bryce, is it Bryce? I forget his name.
Trask?
No, not the.
You're talking. No, Bryce. Yeah, Bryce Young. Yes. Carolina.
That guy has come to form as this year has gone on, and so has the team.
Right.
Remember, this is the team that only lost to the Buccaneers the first time by a field goal.
Right.
And I think they might be the only team this year, or maybe they lost it with a field goal. And that was, with the guys from Kansas City.
Yes. Bryce Young, he's not Ohio State, is he? Is he Ohio State?
I think he might have been Alabama, maybe Georgia.
Alabama. I don't know. Yeah, he's big school credentials. So yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, it's not my team. But anyway, yes, they are up and coming. They'll be fine. So yeah, I get it.
I think they're going to be a force next year. I really do.
Yes, I think. Well, and so much to talk about, but yes, I think they will. So anyway, Buccaneers beat Carolina yesterday. Now, just for those who care, and they made the mistake of doing a drone shot on the stadium in Jacksonville yesterday. Two teams at both 3-12, Jacksonville and Tennessee, and the Jaguars actually won. Nobody knows and nobody cares because nobody was there. It was a rainy, gray, ugly day in Jacksonville, and two teams that have been mathematically out of the playoffs since, I don't know, week 4 were playing. And it was unwatchable. It was just unwatchable. So anyway, I went back and forth between that and watching the Philadelphia Eagles dismantle the Dallas Cowboys because I didn't get the Buccaneers game. Not too angry about that.
You've been talking about moving for a while.
Hello?
I think you need to move to either Central Florida or the Tampa Bay area.
All right. Before we get into the heavy duty football talk, a little aside from Bill. My lease is up in 60 days at the end of February as we record this. And I've already downloaded the apartments.com app onto my iPad as I watch the games. And I'm surfing through apartment openings to look because this is getting ridiculous.
Yes, you need to go to Central Florida or you need to go to the Tampa Bay area.
I am really, really, really focusing on the Tampa Bay. Not in town, but I mean like out and around. There were even some nice things just south of the river over in Bradenton and Liquid Ranch and all that sort of a thing. So sure, I'm open to that. I am so open to that. Not just for the Buccaneers games, but being up here this is a wonderful, nice little town. It's a little collegey for me. It's, a little bit overtaken by the young people. So I'm not young anymore. So I could see myself relocating. I could see myself relocating at the drop of a hat. I don't care. I mean, I enjoy new places and seeing new towns.
Let me pick up one of my hats here and drop it.
Uh-oh. What's this?
I was going to pick up one of my hats and drop it.
Drop a hat? Oh, at the drop of a hat. Yes, I'm sorry. I missed that. I'm sorry. I missed the cliche there.
I was trying to help you out, man.
I appreciate it. I do. I really do. So feel free to remind me in the next couple of weeks here. So anyway, Buccaneers made quick work of Carolina. Looked great. He's texting me all during the game. Fire the cannons. Fire the cannons. Wait, we're wearing out the cannons today. I'm like, oh man, and I'm missing it. Oh well.
It may have been the best game they played all year.
Awesome. peaking at the right time. So now, and then the reason BJ and Bill were kind of dragging a little bit this morning, we both stayed up late and we watched the late night Sunday night game with the Washington Commanders and the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, Atlanta Hawks.
Falcons.
I was going to say Atlanta Braves.
Falcons, aren't they?
Falcons. Hawks are the hockey team, right?
No, the basketball team.
Basketball team. Good God, where's my no coffee this morning? No coffee this morning because I just jumped out of bed. That explains it all. So anyway, Commanders and Falcons, and we needed the Commanders to win because that would knock the Falcons out of the top of the NFC South. And with the Tampa Bay win and the Falcons loss,
they're in first place.
the stars aligned.
One more week
place.
left. One more week left. So hopefully the Bucs will be able to, because I don't know.
And they're playing New Orleans, who's not great.
They're okay this year, right? They're just okay.
They're okay.
But that's who's beating this team this year. Are they just okay teams?
I know. I don't understand it, and I don't care to understand it. All I know is beat the Saints, and it's all good.
Yeah,
all good. So anyway, yeah, that's the way it goes. So other stuff yesterday, like I said, we're probably going to have to watch to see yet more apologies from Dallas to see after the Eagles beat up on Dallas 41-7, OMG. And then last night, fabulous game with the Commanders winning in overtime, pushing back my bedtime and your bedtime even farther, but it was totally worth it. And yeah, lots of good games yesterday.
I don't know if it was totally worth it because I have called you before during the Buccaneer games when it is close.
Yes.
Because I have a little issue with this AFib stuff that, it's pretty well under control. But sometimes that heart rate will get higher than I want it to during a Buccaneers game.
Right.
Well, yesterday, heart rate was fine the whole day. It didn't really go off the chart any at all.
Oh, sure. During the Buccaneers game when they were crushing it, yes.
But I'm watching a team that I normally don't even root for in my entire life. I don't even know if I've seen one Washington Commanders game since I've been born ever. And I'm watching this game, and my heart rate is like going off the map. It's bedtime, and my wife's trying to sleep, but she told me I could keep and I'm over there screaming and cussing and going, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. You just won the game. Now they just tied the game. You sons of a bitches.
I'm laughing because I was doing the same thing. Going, oh no, don't do that.
At least you weren't keeping a woman awake. Her looking
no, I wasn't keeping anybody awake but myself.
Go to bed.
I wasn't keeping anybody awake but I might have kept the neighbors awake upstairs. I'm not sure because there was some shouting in Bill's apartment. I'll tell you that. There was some shouting. So, but it all ended well. We went to overtime. we won in overtime. Washington won in overtime. It's not we. I loved them last night, and now they're like, who cares?
They're dead to me this morning.
It's like the girlfriend who disposes of the boyfriend when he's no longer cool, So anyway, all good.
Yes. So now all the Buccaneers have to do, what is it, week 19, the last week of the regular season, right?
Yes.
All they have to do is beat I keep wanting to call them St. Louis. Saints. New Orleans.
Well, that's all right. I tried to call Atlanta the Hawks, so it's okay.
So all they got to do is beat New Orleans on Sunday, and they're in the playoffs.
Yes.
Now they could lose if Atlanta lost too, but I wouldn't want to take that chance.
No, darn good question. And in fact, let's hop on over to NFL.com for a moment here and look at next week, week 18. There we go.
Is it 18 or 19?
And see. So yeah. Oh well. The Falcons are actually playing those very same Carolina Panthers next week. So Panthers will be looking to finish strong. Jaguars play Indianapolis Colts, who were mathematically eliminated yesterday by their loss. And then, of course, like we said, Tampa Bay gets the Saints. So, and it's a home game too at the Bucs. Okay, cool. So, Saints at 5-11 coming to play the Bucs at Raymond James Stadium. I like our chances. I like it a lot.
I will say this too about yesterday's game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they only didn't score like maybe 2 possessions,
Yeah, you were saying.
which was like unbelievable. Just like seemed like every possession but one in the first half, they scored. I
Now,
know that for sure.
Tell us the most important part of that game. Tell us about the duck.
All I know is they were ready to, it wasn't going to be kicking for a field goal. They were, punting.
Tampa or Carolina?
Carolina was punting, and they were down by their end. They didn't get very far. It was like 3 and out or 4 and out. So they were ready to punt, and it was a block punt, and they ran it in for a touchdown, which was beautiful. Wow. But at the whole time, like probably down at the other end, there was this duck just hanging out, just waddling around going, what the hell? Why are all these people looking at me? I just come down here. I thought I would land. It was beautiful green grass. It looked beautiful. And all of a sudden I'm looking up and all these people are looking at me. What the hell? What? And so a guy comes out trying to catch the duck, probably, security guard or something.
Right.
He's in front of millions of people. He's not going to rough up the duck. So he's trying to just nicely catch the duck, and the duck is going, hey, screw you, man. I like it here. I'm not going nowhere. You leave me alone. And while all this is going on, the block punt and, the score, and now the duck has signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Believe me, it was all over Twitter/X last night, and somebody had already photoshopped a red uniform on the duck. It's like, all right, Tampa Bay offering the duck a 4-year, $25 million deal, and the duck wants it now to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's like the jokes were immediate. I mean, just within minutes they were already on it.
I'm amazed though that they continued to play the game with the duck still on the field.
Wow. They'll stop it when like some human comes running onto the field, but not a duck, apparently.
I don't know. But they kept playing. Maybe the refs didn't know the duck was there. Just the TV people did. I don't know.
Right. Boy, he would have, imagine what would have happened if they actually would have got the punt off and it would have come to him or something.
And he would have grabbed it and ran it in. Who would it have counted if the duck ran it in? No, illegal player.
12 men. Well, wait a minute. It's not men. It's 11 men, 1 duck on the field. That would have been awesome. So anyway, So anyway, more highlights from your Tampa Bay Buccaneers game yesterday. So, I didn't. Funny, BJ didn't text me about that one. I had to find out about it on Twitter last night. Interesting. Oh, well.
I figured, you missed out. Why?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be on the highlight shows today. I'll have to put it on like ESPN or something.
Oh, he'll probably be filling the highlight shows. But here's another thing that I read on social media, which I don't even know what source it was.
Yes.
But I read an article, which, I don't know who wrote it, but it asked, could Baker Mayfield be the dark horse in the MVP for the MVP this year?
There's so many others. I mean, like, there's so many others that are having great seasons. The kid at Green Bay and Lamar Jackson in Baltimore is pretty much everybody is thinking he's the favorite. Boy,
it did say MVP, dark horse.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I don't see it happening, but anything's possible.
Now you're also a Cleveland boy.
Yes, I am.
And I have heard rumblings of this, that people are furious in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
for them giving up Baker Mayfield.
Well, I've seen that too. I do follow some of the Cleveland sportscasters and sports people again on Twitter, and it's like, Cleveland, you had your guy. You had the guy. All you had to do was protect him. All you had to do was draft a few linemen. But no, You let him go. So yeah, there's especially with the debacle with the nightmare that has been Deshaun Watson in Cleveland and all that. I mean, they basically whoever made that deal, I want to sell him a bridge somewhere. I mean, $250 million for a quarterback that was like had sat out the previous year because of his legal issues, shall we say, and then to come back and be don't get me started on that. It's just been a nightmare for Cleveland with quarterback situation. And then they hamstring themselves. I mean, it's like, okay, we're going to be paying this guy millions and millions of dollars for years to come, and he's not going to even be playing. Great, wonderful. Okay, so anyway,
They did make some kind of deal with him, though. I think next year's his last year, and
restructuring deal.
somehow,
Yes,
somehow they're going to get
it's still going to cost them a ton of money, but let this be a lesson to you, NFL owners. And I mean, they're kind of doing the same thing in Jacksonville, where they gave Trevor Lawrence $250 million, and then he got injured this year, and it's like, okay, now what? But I mean, Jacksonville's got other issues. They got so many problems. It's like you can't, where do you start with Jacksonville? I don't know. But anyway, who knows?
So as of right now, I think Tampa is the only Florida team that's possibility with being in the playoffs. Now I think Miami got eliminated yesterday too.
Well, they beat Cleveland yesterday, but I think they had to have a lot of other help that they didn't get. So yeah, I think so. So if I go over and I look at, let's see, if we go to again, we're on our friends NFL.com here. If we go to how would I look that up? Ways to watch teams. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. It's not. Yeah, playoff picture. There we go. If we go to games and we go to playoff picture, because always, it's everybody's like in the hunt or whatever, clinched a playoff spot. Let's see. Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Houston, Texas, Pittsburgh Steelers, Chargers are in. Okay, in the hunt. Broncos, Buccaneers. Yeah, but see, Buccaneers, they're on the top of the heap there. So I don't. Yeah, eliminated. Colts, Jets, Raiders, Browns, of course. Yeah. The Dolphins are listed as on the bubble, but currently with a playoff possibility of just 28%. So yeah, I don't know how to read those charts. So we'll just, Miami, good luck. Who knows? So anyway, there you go. That's football. This is not a football podcast. We just enjoy talking about it. It's fun.
Well, next week will be the last week, and then we go in the playoffs and have a few comments about the Buccaneers if they make it in, and then then it's on to basketball. But boy, I don't know. I am losing all confidence in all sports now. The Bucs have kind of gotten me back to enjoy a little football again, but basketball, my Warriors have just sucked a big one for the last month. Started so good, like always.
Right. I was just going to say, and because the Warriors are pretty much the poster child for this issue, tell me your opinions, if you have one, that I hear going around, especially from our buddy Shaq, who has talked about this long and hard and continues to talk about how the three-point shot is killing the game. What do you think?
I don't know. It's kind of enjoyable in a way, but I can understand.
Right.
And I can understand that.
Especially from these OG guys like Shaq and others who played a much more, shall we say, physical game rather than guys like Steph Curry, who looks like your average pizza delivery driver, standing behind the three-point line and again, like you said, watching him shoot these shots, amazing. The guy is incredible. But it's kind of just a shooting contest now. It's a shooting, it's like, okay, great. We're going to watch some guys stand behind the three-point line and take all these shots. And it's like, okay, great. Are we actually playing any of the game? I don't know.
It's like anything else. It's got to evolve, and that's what it's evolving into. But, what they're going to have to figure out is somebody's going to have to learn how to play these guys and block these guys. And
well, that's part of the problem, isn't it? I mean, you can't really block a three-point shot without a foul, and then you're making it a 4-point shot. So I don't.
Now see, again, that's what I don't like too. That it's like football. Football they've turned into almost a pansy game. But basketball is the same way.
Pansy team.
You can jump into somebody. Oh, you fouled
Right.
me.
Right.
No, you just jumped into me. How come I'm getting fouled when you jumped into me?
Right.
Well, you were in my
Good
jump
question.
space.
Eh,
And then nowadays, and LeBron started it, but I mean, many players have been following suit. How many steps can you take when you're in the lane? Three? No, four. What? Five? Oh no,
right.
six. What's the number of steps you can take if you're driving in the lane?
Well, if you're LeBron, a lot. If you're not LeBron, not a lot. I
Yeah.
hear you.
So every sport has its casualties.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, and I've of course, I'm, connected to the Shaq thing that, the Shaq radio blog that your son does. So I read a lot about that and I get it. I do. And I'm a basketball fan too. I enjoy it. I mean, my Cleveland Cavaliers are having the best season ever. Thank you. And they don't shoot a ton of three. They play a little more traditional game, but everybody does. I mean, it's like, okay, 3-point line. Do you move the 3-point line out? Do you make it harder somehow? Do you make it what? I don't know. I don't know how you would do that, but make it 2.5 points. I just thought of that. Make it 2.5 points.
Oh.
Ooh.
But you notice these teams that do a lot of the 3-point shots, and Steph is becoming, and I don't know if it's because of his age or what, like before, Steph would have like a night where he'd be cold once in a while, but
Right.
on most nights, he would put away 40, 50 points in a game.
Right.
Now, Steph is having more off nights than he did, let's say, a season or two ago. And I don't know if that's age or just
Yeah.
that maybe people are learning how to defend him too. That could be it also.
Interesting question. I don't know the answer to that, but yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see where I do think that the NBA needs to do something about it because there's a lot of grumbling about it. And more importantly, TV ratings have actually been down. So it's like that gets people's attention. All right, why are the ratings down? Well, the games aren't as fun to watch anymore. Why not? Well, okay, now we can start talking about some real changes to the rules and the setup and all that to make it work. So, I mean, they change football every year. Every year there's something new in football where you go, wow, really? And, even baseball. Even baseball did it with their pitch clock and their, extra innings rules and stuff like that. And honestly, I think it helped baseball. I watched a lot more baseball this year. So we'll see.
That's like the Hallmark Channel. Every storyline is pretty much the same. They haven't changed it in years, And so, and look how successful they are.
They have a formula and it works. They have a formula and it works. But the guy that taught me how to play tennis 50 years ago learned to hit the same old boring winner. Learn to hit the same old boring winner. And if you're hitting the same shot and it wins every time, why are you changing it? Just keep doing it. I mean, it's like if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, hand Saquon Barkley the ball and get out of the way. Duh. So anyway, yeah.
As Bill has learned over the years, if the Buccaneers are failing to win and looks like they're going to get their butts kicked, I'm just typing over here. Time for me to head over to the Hallmark Channel.
Right. That's BJ's thing. I'll be, if the football game, whatever he's watching, and usually the Bucs, is not going well, yeah, then he's heading for which to me, I think you probably need to turn in your man card for that. I think that's, if you even still have one.
It makes the wife so happy.
You have more than one TV set in the house.
But there's Bill. There's a method to my madness.
Here comes some education. I can hear it coming.
There is reasons why I do what I do.
Is there really, BJ? What might that be?
Well, I don't think this is the place to discuss what the reasons are. But let's just say wife gets a little, oh, that's so cute. And then she looks at me and she goes, oh, you're so cute. And then just,
it's a little romantic.
Then we let nature take its course, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So many bad jokes. But yes, I hear you. And I'm not going to tell you not to do it because, I mean, if that works, that works. Good for
It
you.
works.
Good for you. Okay, cool.
You know what?
Ah,
Losing my man card is going to get me a lot more man, you know what? You can throw it away as far as I'm concerned.
okay, then he's
The
all
man
for it.
card is not important if you can be a man by not having a man card, if you get my drift.
I do, which is a little icky, but okay. Good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you have some method to the madness and that it's actually working for you. That's the important thing, that it's actually kind of working out. So good.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
glad.
it used to, but now the magic still works, but there's another thing that doesn't work as much. So it doesn't really. Maybe I should go back for the man card, and maybe they'll start working a little better than it has over the past year or so. You can't be taking a little blue pill every night.
Right,
I'll just
right,
tell you.
right, right. Right. So the software still works, the hardware not so much.
Yeah.
I get it.
And then the
Yeah.
wife goes, no, I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die.
Don't
I
want you
want
to-
to
oh,
die.
oh, die.
I want to die. I want to die. Let me die.
If that's the way that you died, there's
More
nothing
power
wrong with
to
that.
me.
There's die with a smile on your face. Absolutely.
She may not enjoy the way it happens, but I sure as hell will.
That's gonna be a tough story to tell the paramedics, isn't it?
What happened? Well, and I killed
I'm
Bill
laughing
again.
so hard I'm choking on things.
Hey, before we get
That's
out of here, you got
hilarious.
any New Year's plans or reservations?
All right, back up. I'm sorry. I was laughing so hard I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, any New Year's resolutions or plans?
Well, plans, no. I mean, I will probably, of course, as you listen to this podcast, it will already be New Year's Day. So I will be up to my knees. I will be up to my chin in college football playoffs, and that's about it. So, do I have plans other than college football? No, I do not. Do I have resolutions? Yeah, I want to go to the gym some. I actually want to get in a little exercise. I mean, I don't know about you. You know, you have other ways you get your exercise, and I respect that. But me, not so much. You know, bachelor apartment, bachelor pad, bachelor life. I'm kind of like here. I am. So, yeah, get to the gym more often. I don't know. I'm not. You know, I don't know if
Well,
that's a real thing or not. But of course, it's a real thing. But you know, we'll see how that
well,
goes.
if you make that move at a drop of a hat, as your
Oh, I
lease
see.
gets ready
To relocate. Yes.
try to get into an apartment building or condo or something that has like a gym
Yes.
that comes with it. Because, like I said, our neighborhood has I mean, it's not a big gym, but
Right.
it's a nice gym. And, you got to have a little, little key thing
Little
that
key fob. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And you can get in 24 hours a day. Whenever
We
you want to go.
actually have the same thing here. Our gym it's not great, but it's okay. And if that's all I did, that would be great because I literally have to walk past my little apartment gym to get to the mail station, to the mailbox kiosk. So it's like, okay, I could be stopping there on the way to pick up my mail or whatever. And then because, you know, you and I, of course, being the older generation that we are, I also have a free membership at one of those storefront, you know, little gym kind of things as well. And there's literally one. I'm waving my hand like across the street from me. I could ride my bike. I could walk if I wanted to. It's two doors down from my Publix. So again, no excuses I have zero excuses for having a gym nearby. I already do. That's not the issue. The issue is up here, and I'm pointing at my head. The issue is between my ears and getting into the mindset of, okay, this is what we want to do for the new year. So yeah, And I know it's kind of average. It's kind of normal. It's kind of like everybody says that, Bill. Yeah, I know. I'm going to be one of those everybody's. So we'll see what happens. How about you? I mean, you've been asking me, and that's cool.
It's
You got
it,
anything you want to try and do?
my New Year's resolution is the same as it has probably been for the last 22 years.
I know what it is. Go ahead.
Just to live another year.
I know, to be around to do this next year. Yes.
And you know what's really going to piss me off? If I'm only like, not even a month into the new year and I break
Right.
my resolution, I'm going to be so pissed.
Well, so will I. So don't even do that.
But I think, with us doing this podcast and, we laugh our way through it and we have fun.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I think, I feel meaning in my other podcast, The Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant Podcast. I feel those two things kind of keep me going and keeps me laughing. And with that, maybe I'll make my resolution again next year.
I'm sure I have every faith that you will. So I think you will. Yeah. And yes, what you said there is important, especially if I dare say for us old folks. And that is to have something that you still feel like it's worth getting out of bed for. And believe me, I mean, we're running down to the end of the show, but I'll just quickly say the past couple of weeks, I have had zero energy for anything. I have slept until I don't want to tell you how late. Stayed up late, slept late, done nothing, etc. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. I'm bored with that. Time to do something. So yeah, if you have, again, our age, find something to give your life a little bit of meaning. I think, and here we are again, end of the show. I just don't want to start a new topic, but I will throw out the idea that I think my father never planned for that after his retirement. And I think that's what kind of hastened his end when he was retired, because he had no plans. He had nothing. He didn't know what he was going to do when he retired. And all of a sudden, here he is, a whole new life, and he didn't know what to do with it. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And I think it's important, even if it's like small things like our podcast or,
Mm-hmm.
like we go to Disney every once in a while. And
Right.
we don't even stay that long, but we just kind of go and, see a few things and then get back in the car and go home because we have the season passes. Just keep yourself busy and occupied with enjoyable things. Doesn't have to be, like life changing or anything else. Just short little jaunts here and there. Even, like to the grocery store. I remember my father-in-law, and I thought it was really stupid. He would go to like Publix almost every day, but he was a cook too. He liked to cook.
Right.
And he would like go get the ingredients that he needed for the meal he was going to make that night. Like,
I love it.
I was a working person. When you're working, you go, well, why don't you just go and try to buy stuff, for at least 3 or 4 days, why? But I think, that was one of the things, hey. And then when it got to the point where he, couldn't drive or, that's when it all starts to, go downhill when you're not really
Right.
even doing little, to like, younger people, there's little stupid things, but at least you're out
Yes.
doing them.
Yes. Yes. And yes. So that's a good positive thing to put to the end of the show for the first of 2025. So find something, no matter what your age, find something that gives your life a little bit of meaning and a little bit of reason to, like I said, get out of the house now and then. And it's
Yes,
worth
just
it.
don't
I think
sit
it
there
is.
all day long watching the damn Hallmark Channel. That's what not to do.
Dun, dun, dun. There you go. All right, everybody. Make it a great 2025. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week. But until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
See ya!